Latest. CCC leader Nelson Chamisa attacked. Ncube attacks CCC leader Nelson Chamisa in series of tweets and citizens hit back. Alpha Media Holdings boss, Trevor Ncube, says the interim president of the Citizens Coalition for Change, CCC, Nelson Chamisa, lacks leadership qualities. His dreams are being frowned upon by his peers and may become a dictator if elected by the people of Zimbabwe. In a series of tweets, Ncube said Chamisa is allegedly afraid of Tendai Biti, Job Sikala, Welshman Ncube and Hopewell Chinono. He said, "I am making this thread with a deep sense of love for my brother in Christ, Nelson Chamisa. The same kind of love and frankness that characterized the meeting he requested in my office a while back. What people very close to Nelson say to me concerns me. These people say they have given up on Nelson but can't tell him that he is not a leader, that he is not a Democrat. Some of these people have suggested exploring a third way, which I have since given up on, although Robert Chapman's effort could be just that. These people say Nelson does not want to be accountable, that he feels threatened by people such as Tendai Biti, Welshman Ncube, Job Sikala, Hopewell Chinono etc. Those who remain around him do so because they see him as a ticket to their own political ambitions. These people are frightened by the dreams that Nelson shares of him hearing from God. Dreams of him being told he will be at State House until old age. Most fervent Christians hear from God, but there is always purity to what God says to us. Ncube, who is the chairperson of Alpha Media Holdings, which publishes The Standard, Zimbabwe Independent, Newsday and Weekly Digest, said there is need for Chamisa to always strive for teamwork. My own prayer for Nelson is that he realizes that successful national leadership is always a product of a strong team of rivals. Men and women who disagree passionately but are united around the big picture. Weak people, yes minister types, are why Zimbabwe is where it is. I am speaking out because nobody else will say this publicly because they are frightened of Nelson and his supporters. People think criticizing Nelson weakens the opposition. A leader who can't stand scrutiny in opposition will be a dictator once elected into office. Foreign diplomats also share their deep concern, and so do NGOs who have previously supported Nelson. The military intelligence believe they have Nelson under control. His supporters clearly don't know this and they follow blindly. And why is this any of my business? Because a strong and principled opposition is important for prosperity. Because of the danger of electing another dictator to State House. Criticism and transparency strengthen leaders and institutions. There was no immediate reaction from CCC as party interim spokesperson, Fadzai Mahir, and her deputy, Ostayo Siziba, did not respond to questions sent to them. Siziba indicated that he was attending a meeting, but some citizens took a swipe at Ncube, saying he has become an appendage of the ZANU-PF system of governance and therefore he was unfit to criticize or give advice to Chamisa. Dr. Glenn Muda, one of the people who responded to Ncube's tweets, said, "First things first, you lied to the whole world in 2019 that Chamisa was going to abandon his supporters and WLD be awarded an offer by Mnangagwa that he would not resist. That never happened. Did you apologize to him as your brother in Christ whom you have a deep sense of love for?" Not to be outdone, a person using the Twitter handle, D4, said, "This thread does not resonate well with the electorate. We are and shall remain behind Chamisa. Those you call are feared by Chamisa. Why do you think they still hang around him if they have the capacity to stand alone? Your intentions are known and will be rejected. CDE Treasure Basopo was also unhappy about Ncube's remarks. I will make this comment with a deep sense of love for my brother in Christ, Trevor Ncube. The same kind of love presumably demonstrated by your thread to NC. Junior employees as Newsday are complaining that you haven't been paying their salaries in a long time. However, back to blah, one of the citizens who also responded to Ncube's tweets, said, "They'll come here savaging your person and ridicule you, but, you've articulated well what many well-enlightened Zimbabweans think. You are going to be labeled ZANU-PF, Murakashi, ZANU-PF Project and even vulgar words unleashed on you. This is who they are." Mazinge Brilliant Shaba, another respondent, had this to say, "Very interesting analysis. I feel like these were the same weaknesses which people like Joshua Nkomo, Oliver Rambo et al. Were accused of. Probably the bigger challenge is the strength of ZANU-PF, than Chamisa's weaknesses." Just in. Man found dead in parked car outside Pariranyatwa Hospital. A body of an unidentified man was early this morning found in a silver Honda Fit just outside Pariranyatwa Hospital in Harare. The man's body had wounds on the chest and stomach and was lying in the back seat of the vehicle, which was parked near the main gate along Mazau Street. Some passers-by saw that the vehicle was not properly parked as it was parked along the pavement and went to investigate. They found the body on the back seat. A report was made to the police who attended the scene and investigations are now in progress. When the Herald visited the scene, a team of detectives from SID Homicide, SID Studios and SID Forensics were conducting investigations. One of the first people to see the car, Mr. Lamek Kwari, who is employed as a security guard near the hospital, said when he suspected that the man was dead, he went and made a report to the police. I was among the first people to arrive at the scene, and when I touched the man, I discovered that he was already dead, and I proceeded to Harare Central Police Station to make a report, he said. Mr. Kwari had just finished his duties and was on his thorough vetting for candidates ahead of ZANU-PF primaries. The ZANU-PF National Elections Directorate and Security Department will thoroughly scrutinize thousands of CVs submitted from across the country by aspiring parliamentarians and councillors, a party official has said. Thousands of ZANU-PF members submitted their CVs to take part in the upcoming primary elections and represent the party in general elections set for later this year. The CVs were submitted for the Senate, House of Assembly, local authorities, women, and youth quotas. ZANU-PF Political Commissar Mike Bima on Monday said prospective candidates have to wait until they get approval from the party before they start campaigning. The Herald quoted Bima as saying, "Right now we cannot talk of successful candidates or unsuccessful candidates because what the provinces were simply doing was really to consider these CVs against the rules and regulations set out earlier, thereby making recommendations and also giving their remarks. Therefore the next stage will be for these submissions to be interrogated by the national elections. The same submission will also come under scrutiny by our security department so that after the vetting process, we then move to the stage where the final approval will be given by the Politburo and which will mark the beginning of the campaigns of this internal process. We discourage candidates to campaign now because they still have to wait for approval, they still have to wait for the processes to take place, and then once they have been successful in the processes then they can start campaigning." Aspiring candidates will be vying for 210 constituencies, 1,970 wards, 60 senatorial, 60 for women's quota, and 10 for youth quota. Bima said one province received more than 4,000 nomination papers and in some cases, 10 or more candidates are pursuing one position in the House of Assembly.